Hello and welcome to a new channel that's all about Willows Lakes. Now Willows Lakes is a fishery that contains 3 lakes. Here is the Deep Lake. The Deep Lake is the smallest of the 3. It's only about a few acres big, and it has its reasons for being called the Deep Lake. In some points it is 15 feet deep. Now the reason why it's so deep because it houses some of the biggest fish that we have. The biggest fish in here is 64 pound. That is a catfish. It was caught by one of our more experienced catfishers. He caught it at 64 pound last month. Now we don't actually know whether it's grown bigger or if it's got smaller, or we don't even know how many are in here, but we know that they are all big. The biggest carp in here is 40 pounds. That is the second biggest. That is the first biggest fish, biggest carp in the lake. Oh, well, that's what we know of. But that was recorded last month as well. So, there are other smaller catfish in here that were 57 pounds. It was caught by a man named Jack. So let's take a walk around here. Now, as you can see, there are 9 swims on the lake, but you have to fish from those 9 swims, and they are all on this side, as you can see. It is unfortunate that you can't fish on the other side, but it would be a bit awkward and amputating if you fished on the other side, because there would be lines and rods crossing each other, and the bank over the side is quite steep. Now, you have to be over the age of 18 to fish on this lake. Unfortunately, there are no children allowed whilst you are fishing on here, just for pure safety reasons. Because, like I said, in some cases there are 15 feet deep. Now, there is one of the deepest points out there. It may not be very far out in water, but that has been recorded at 13 feet deep. So, here's a sign. These are just some rules that need to be on. Notice to anglers fishing the Deep Lake. You must use a 42-inch landing mat and a beanie, obviously because the fish are quite big, the 64 pound, catfish. Unhooking mat when fishing this lake. Thank you. And it's the Willows Lake sign. Of course, you have to have quite a big net as well, because like I said, the 64 pound or the 40 pound carp, obviously it's not going to be very nice for the carp to be on a very small mat, or very thin mat. It's not going to be very comfortable for the carp. So there's an island over there, and like I said, it's not a very big lake, but it is very deep. Now, let's go to the causeway and film it from the other side, so you can just get a view of this side facing it. Now, I'll show you a little bit of Match Lake as well. It's just going up our track. I'll show you a little bit of our Match Lake as well. And I'll tell you a little bit about the owner. The owner is my dad. We took over 3 years ago. And I will say this, it was a little bit worse than what it is now. Since we've taken over, a lot of people have been commented on our website how much it's changed and how much they want to come back and join, and our members have probably gone up by a lot. A lot has gone up. We've got a lot more fishermen. We've got a lot more family members that want to come down and do day fishing. A lot more people that want to get into it seriously and join as well. So now this is the causeway. Like I said, it's quite steep. It is a man-made lake, they're not natural. That is why this is so deep, because it is a specimen lake. It is for big fish. Even some of the silverfish are bigger than what they usually are. So that's here. I'm not entirely sure for the reason why they're massive. It is because this place does get fed quite well. It is a hard fishery, and more of our experienced people want to try. to catch the big monster fish. They are very, very big fish. Now, this lake over here is in fact the match lake. Now, it has a reason why it's called the match lake, because we do hold our matches on here every Sunday. Every Sunday is our match. At the top end as well, and I will show you the top end in part 2. Now, this is the match lake. The water is quite high because obviously, you know, we're in England. It's quite, you know, heavy rain. Here's the island. The island is a most popular place to fish around this bay area. Yeah. So as you can see, two people are fishing. This island is, well, quite deep at the moment because it is, you know, underwater. Usually it is bigger than this. But yeah, this is one part of the match lake. Let's go back up and see some of the deep lake. Now, we do have 3 lakes. We have the match, the deep lake, and the farm. That's the deep lake, that's the match lake, and then the farm lake is at the top. But obviously that won't be in this video because this video is already on 6 minutes. But enough of that. So here is the rest of the deep lake. Now, it is quite treed, obviously. It's quite overgrown because we're not going to bother cutting it down because no one is supposed to be fishing on this bit anyway. Now we have another part of the match lake, which is a lot closer to the island. So a lot closer. It's a bit windy. This is a lot closer to the island. It's quite a deep spot out there, so there are going to be some fish hanging around the trees. And yeah, that's that bit. I don't know if you can see the deep lake from this side, but it's probably not the best of views. Some the reeds there that separates 2 swims. Got more swims over there. But this is a fishing facility only. You can't camp, you can't swim, you can't have lake parties, obviously, because of the depth of the water, and it's a fishing facility. It's private land. It's not a camping site. As you come in through the main gate, there will be a big board, obviously, showing the rules and what to do and what not to do.